Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. This is your daily forecast for the Greater Collective for the Highest Good for Thursday, August 27th. If this is being viewed on a date that's not Thursday, August 27th, that's okay. It can still be a forecast for you for whatever day that you're viewing it, because it is the message for the Greater Collective for the Highest Good. The message still has validity beyond the original date that it was created for, so it is timeless. But for those of you that are my regular viewers that tune in, this is building upon the cards that we've been looking at throughout the week, okay? So, you know, it's there for you to use it whenever you need it, essentially. All right, so let's look at what we've got going on. What else we need to know? We've had the Ace of Cups show up twice, back to back, 2 days in a row. So if that card shows up again, I'm going to be a little bit probably freaked out, let's be honest. Let's see what's going on here. What do we need to know? Oh wow, okay. We saw this card, I feel like last week? Where did we see death? Hold on one second, I need to look for the death card. I know that we saw the death card. Oh, it was last week. Oh, it was twice last week. I didn't realize we saw it twice last week. Interesting. Repeating cards. Okay, so today's the death card. Major Arcana, guys. To me, death is always about sort of the release and the grace with which we do it, right? Do we lean into it? Do we fight it? If we fight it, it's more of a struggle, if I'm going to be honest. That's where more the fear, the negativity, the worry can seep into the death card and make it an unpleasant experience for us. But if we ease into it and allow it to sort of happen, it's not necessarily a bad card per se. It can be actually about transformation. It can be about freeing ourselves from a situation that no longer works for us. It can be sometimes the release of a situation that is still, well, I don't want to say that the situation has some sort of value, because if we're having to release it and let it go via the death card, then more than likely we've outgrown it in some way, shape, or form. But it can be a situation that maybe we're used to, that we expected to be around, or that we expected to sort of maintain. Today's the day, or today would be a good day to sort of free ourselves from it and allow ourselves to move on to something that's newer, more inspiring, more opportunistic for us. And I mean that in a good way, not necessarily opportunistic in a bad way. I mean it more like there's something out there for us that's better suited to us. That's at least the feeling that I get from this. What's pulling my attention is this crow that's rising up out of the body of this crow, right? It's almost like the spirit of the crow kind of flying up. So to me, it feels like there are new horizons to be found. There are new opportunities to be explored. But we have to be willing to kind of maybe let go of something that we might be in some resistance to, right? Change can be a scary thing. Transforming can be a scary thing. Letting go and moving forward without necessarily knowing what's going to fill up that place or that space of whatever it is that we have let go, be it a job or relationship, whatever it might be for us. It can be scary because we don't necessarily know what we're going to put there. But there is that idea that nature abhors a vacuum, right? The environment, the universe, our higher power, whatever you want to call it, is not going to leave us hanging. But sometimes we have to kind of trust ourselves enough to move forward and allow for that change to take place. To me, the death card usually is inevitable. So if we fight it and we find ourselves struggling against it, then that's where we end up sort of in pain, in discomfort, that sort of a thing. But passings, like literal passings, I'm talking about actual physical death, can be peaceful. It can be a transformation to another sort of realm, right? I also feel like when I'm looking at this card too, is that this death card also brings us closer to the realm of spirit than we maybe have ever been before. It has that capacity too, as a positive, right? So there might be opportunities today for some of us to tap into sort of a more subtle, psychic, spiritual sense of the workings are going on around us, right? And I only say that because of the Ace of Cups showing up twice. We have that Queen of Wands energy underneath this card too, which speaks to the idea of kind of taking action, maybe being a little bit impulsive, maybe going, okay, you know what? This isn't all I thought it was cracked up to be. I'm ready to leave it behind. I'm ready to sort of let it go. And for those of you that aren't willing to let go, that might be why this is the third time we're seeing this card in 2 weeks. You might be holding on to an idea, a concept, a belief, outcome that maybe isn't in the cards for you. There might be actually something better in the cards, no pun intended, but you have to kind of open yourself up to that, ease into it, and be willing to kind of let it all unfold and adapt to whatever the situation calls for in the moment. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Let's see what the angels and ancestors have to say. Oh, wow. I love it. So this is Protection Guardian. I've never seen her before. She's stunning. And it says, drop your shields. So when I look at this death card, the shields are definitely dropped in death, right? There's no shields for us to hide behind at that point. It's like whatever it is we need to look at, we have to face it. I mean, I feel like she is dead facing us. If you look at Protection Guardian, she's looking us dead in the face. She's strong, she's empowered. I love that she's sort of feminine. With this Protection Guardian, it sort of feels like this softer form of protection, right? Because I'm associating her with a feminine binary, right? But she's just as powerful as, say, the male hunter that we saw yesterday, right? She is sort of this peaceful kind of guardian that offers us protection and brings us through whatever this death process may be for us. There's something that we need to let go of or release, and we need to kind of allow ourselves the transformation that takes place from that. As we allow that, we have to understand that we don't need any shields, any worries, any fears. They shouldn't be leading us right now. We need to sort of think about the idea of that Queen of Wands and the opportunities that she can sort of carry us to. These situations might feel a little bit, like I said, impulsive or, what's the word? Like kind of a little bit scary. But what's going on here, I really feel, especially with this crow rising up out of the body of the crow, this crow here, is that their spirit is leading us in some way. And we need to listen to that. If we're not, then we're holding on to the ego, right? We're holding on to our fears, how we think things should be. Should is always kind of more egoic based. Protection Guardian says to me, no, drop your shields, don't worry, you're safe. I will kind of protect you. I will bring you through this. This could be your own higher self, right? Or your own guardian angels, your own spirit guides that are here to protect you, and you're not alone through this process, right? So let's go to the grounding stone and see what the grounding stone has to say. Okay, so we have create again. This showed up last week. We don't see this stone very often, but it's back. So when I think about death, death is a release and a destruction in a way, or a dismantling in a way, right? A separation that takes place, a transformation that's allowed to happen. From that release or that sort of what's the word I want to say, like that ease, if we ease into it, if we allow it to happen, we know that we're protected through protection guarding. We can drop our shields, we can experience it, we can feel vulnerable, we can understand our own strength and our own ability to protect ourselves in the moment. Only then can we move into this idea of this creation, right? Again, I want to take you back to the Sunday grounding stone, which is that blessed stone. We need to understand that there are blessings all around us, even in sort of departures, even in changes. Changes can sometimes offer us some of the biggest blessings that we don't see because we're so busy caught up in the discomfort of the change or the fear of the change that we're unwilling to kind of acknowledge that maybe we're better off for having had something, taken from us, or a situation shifting in a way that at first doesn't sort of feel right. But when we look back on it, it's usually in hindsight, that whole phrase, hindsight is 2020. Usually in hindsight, we understand after having gone through a situation, oh, I now understand why I went through that and why that had to happen because it led me here. To me, this is about sort of easing into the change, easing into the loss or the separation, knowing that we're protected, dropping any shields in any worry. And from that place, we're then able to sort of feel that these changes are blessings, that everything that happens to us, whether we deem it positive or negative, is actually an opportunity to learn, to grow, to excel, to expand, and to create. Right? Anything that we walk away from, something new will be created in that space. And at times we have to do it. Death is a natural cycle, right? The endings of things are natural cycles. They reach their sort of, I don't want to say breaking point because I don't get a bad feeling from this death card. I feel like this is a transition that is going to take place and needs to take place, and that we kind of need to allow it to take place so that we can create what's next. So let me read you the death card. Of course, I don't have my glasses, which is awful, but we're going to try this. The crow has let go and has made peace with the change that must take place for her life to move forward in a positive direction. Her death is symbolic of transformation and comes with a warning that unless you are willing to allow the part of you to die that is holding you back, the pain or discomfort you feel in the future will be genuine. This card marks a profound change is coming, one that has the possibility of creating a positive outcome. This is, of course, if you can allow the change to happen without fear of the unknown. All right? So that's where I don't necessarily feel like with this death card we automatically have an awareness of where or how we're going to get there, but we have to sort of trust that we need to get there, right? All right, let's go to Protection Guardian. All right, she is drop your shields. Drop any shields of shame, resistance, and fear that are standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. Know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine. The Protection Guardian is a feminine version of Archangel Michael. She is a fierce, protective, yet loving warrior angel who carries an indestructible shield of power and protection and will come to all who call on her. She will help you drop your fear-based shields and move into a loving, protective force field that will keep you safe, but will allow your gifts to shine out. Although she is here to guard you from lower energies, she is completely relaxed, serene, and confident because she trusts that love will always prevail. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in your past, but that is not your present. Angels are drawing close at this time to help you more beyond any limiting thoughts, emotions, and patterns that may be making you feel unsafe. Know that angelic protection is swirling around you at this moment and that you and will help you move forward in a more fearless way. Call on your guides for help in changing your frequency so that you can feel safe and protected at this time. You are stronger than you think, and your angels and ancestor guides are here to help you realize this now. So again, if we're feeling some sort of discomfort because of the transformation of death, Protection Guardian is here to sort of ease this process for us, allow us to understand our strength and our ability, and from there we can create new art, possibility, opportunities, all of that. But we have to kind of let go of whatever is no longer serving us, whatever limits us. This can be our own fears of the mind, our own judgments of others. This can be actual, physical situations, relationships, jobs, whatever it is that we're stuck in that we no longer need, that no longer serves. Now is the time to transform, especially when the planet is in so much flux and change, right? Now is the time to kind of take inventory without judgment and sort of decide, is this really serving me? And also, I just want to say this with the death card, there is this idea of ease into it. Just allow the transformation to take place, almost even if you can find excitement around it versus struggling against it and resisting it, because that's just going to make it all the more painful. And we don't want that pain. This is not about pain. This is about newness, abundance, and getting us to that place. All right, that is your forecast for the day. I hope that makes sense, you guys. This is not something that's negative or to be sad about. This is something to be excited about and to allow the changes to take place. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please give this video a like, a share, a comment, or a subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.